Good evening from Los Angeles, California. I'm Dr. Ryan Ava. On Thursday, Secretary of State Blinken announced sanctions against Iran's ministers of the Interior and Communications and 5 other officials of the Islamic Republic, all for their roles in the crackdown against protesters. The unrest was sparked by the death of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman. Mahsa had been arrested by the morality police accused of violating the barbaric and Islamic dress code of the Iran's regime. And at the forefront of this protest against her killing are women and young people. Roya Hakakian is an Iranian American writer and a founding member of the Iranian Human Rights Documentation Center. She was interviewed by CNN's Farid Zakaria and was asked for her analysis of the current movement by the Iranian people.
I wanted to ask you first, what are your impressions just watching these protests? What is it that you are noticing?
I'm noticing something I haven't seen since 1979. Some of the images that are coming out of Iran are very much reminiscent of the country that I remember, the turmoil that I remember from 1978 and 1979. Kids were ripping up the images of the Shah out of their textbooks. They were tearing down, the images of the Supreme Leader this time around from their classrooms. There is a unified movement throughout the country that is focused on a singular slogan we have never heard, which is woman, life, freedom. And I think it signals toward a major, major shift from all the past demonstrations that we've seen before.
And she's right. This time they were tearing up pictures of not just Ayatollah Khamenei, the current supreme leader, but of Ayatollah Khomeini, the founding father and supreme leader of Iran, striking the very core of the regime's legitimacy. No demonstrations in the past that had come out to object to the regime had gone this far. People of Iran are clearly and loudly saying that they no longer want to associate with this fascist regime, be it its current president Ebrahim Raisi, or the Hitler-like supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, or the founding father of the Islamic Republic Ayatollah Khomeini. We have reached a point of no return, and the Iranian nation has crossed a boundary that it had never crossed before. An often asked question, and a legitimate one for that matter, is why Mahsa Amini and her death? We all know that this regime has killed millions of people over the years. Roya Hakakian responded to that question.
Because she's every woman. First of all, she was a Kurdish woman. She was in Tehran with her brother for a visit. She was not an activist. She was not in any shape or form political. The fact that she was every woman, the fact that she was ordinary, is the reason why everybody is, I think, so up in arms, because she could be me, she could be anybody's sister, she could be anybody's mother, and if that happened to her, then no woman in Iran could possibly be safe.
Now, as I have stated many times in my previous videos and writings on Mediums, Iranians have tried protesting and asking for reform in so many different ways previously, and now have realized that a dictatorship is a dictatorship, that this regime is fundamentally corrupt and anti-human rights. There is no diplomacy or reform possible with this system of government because it is rooted in authoritarianism. Therefore, Iranians are calling not for a reform, but for a revolution.
This is way past reform. People gave reform a lot of time to work, and it didn't. So they have turned to revolution, and that's precisely what's happening in Iran at the moment.
During the interview, Ms. Roya Hakakian was asked about the chances of this particular protest, as in past these protests have not led to anything, and in my opinion, her response was right on point.
In the past, these protests have not led to anything. Can they succeed this time?
The demonstrators are saying that they don't intend to go home and they don't intend to stop. The regime, the system, has entirely lost its legitimacy. Now, whether the demonstrators succeed or not will in part depend on the support that the international community and the United States will provide them. And they should have every incentive, especially America, to do just that. For 40 plus years, the United States has been waiting for Iranians to stop burning American flags, burning the US effigies of Uncle Sam, and not considering the United States, not calling the United States the Great Satan. Well, these demonstrators are out on the streets, and what they're saying, the slogans that they're chanting is, our enemy is right here. They lie when they say it's the United States. We have reached a point that we have always wanted to reach as Americans. Iranians have foregone of the hostility that they've had with us. Now, will we hear the voice of the people as Americans? Will we side with the people and do the right thing this time to correct all of our past mistakes as Americans in Iran and other places in the Middle East where we identify ourselves, we side with the tyrants, and do we hear the plight of the people? That will depend on us. And if we do that, if we right the things that we have done wrong historically, then the demonstrators will certainly have a shot at accomplishing what they've come out on the streets to accomplish.
To support my work, please click the subscribe, the like button, and the notification bell so you wouldn't miss any of my new videos.